Right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving more praise to Yahweh Shem. Double honors supposed for GMS and honors to you brothers that are doing the work in truth, war, sincerity. Right. So we're just gonna go into something real quick, as you can see on the screen. It says John Lewis, right, which is a major retailer here in the UK. It sets, John Lewis sets trends. Each year for Saturnalia, their advert is like the biggest advert. Everyone always waits to see the John Lewis Christmas advert. John Lewis says big corporation here, fabric more or less of British society, right? And then basically they'll come out and says they've ditched boys and girls labels from its children's clothes to avoid quote unquote reinforcing gender stereotypes, right? Just makes you think, man, that we need to get the hell out of this kingdom, man.
That's right. If you look into the article, it actually says that they've made the boys and girls brand plus non-gender specific unisex ones as well. Non-gender specific, there you go, clothing ranges. So they're really just trying to branch out into this whole transgender movement, this LGBT thing.
Like that child there on the pitch, for instance, that could either be a girl or a boy. Right. The androgynous, you think of Baphomet, he's an androgynous demon. Right?
That's right. And we've got a couple of scriptures, but before we go into that, our brothers brought this article to my attention, and I work for a company that they basically constantly look into customer service, and that's what in the customer service is basically in the UK is measured by a thing called NPS, Net Promoter Score. And John Lewis is one of the companies that I always looked up to by other companies for their customer service and how happy customers are with them. So in terms of how to
customer satisfaction,
that's what John Lewis is up there in the top 5. It's usually in the top 3 at all times. As you can see on this website, highest NPS you got nationwide. John Lewis, Aldi over here in the UK.
So that means John Lewis is the top retailer on that list.
That's right, man. And so these other companies are going to see this so-called brave step in society, and then they're going to follow suit because, well, they're looking at this as a business. They're thinking, customer satisfaction directly correlates with business profits. Okay, so they're thinking, well, if John Lewis is making this move, then eventually everyone's going to follow suit.
Yeah, and all it takes, because these retailers at the end of the day think about their money, right? So what they're thinking is, we can't be the last ones to make a move like this, right? So like the brother was saying, we're just going to start a trend, and it's just more proof that we need to get out of this kingdom, man. I was on public transport on my way to get something from the brother. I had a beast sitting next to me, man. I came on a tube, and I wasn't really watching what was going on, or what wasn't in that headspace. I was like, something's not right about this woman, right? And then Tuesday night, she starts having a conversation with her female friend, and you say this bassy voice, man.
I got a quick scripture.
Yeah.
This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right, and there's only really one group of men, that's starting from the apostles on down, and all the brothers, the guys under the banner of GMS, right, the true prophets of the Lord, right, they'll be going around saying, there's something wrong with this kingdom, man. Right, because a lot of people might say there's something wrong with this, there's something wrong with that. We're the only ones that say, that's off, that's off, that's off, that's off. And we're not afraid to say it, man.
That's right. We're the only group that attack these things, because you got scoffers out there that are too busy attacking us.
Yeah.
Getting onto us about the doctrine and things like that. And, and they're coming up with bullshit reasoning as well. They're getting cut in the spirit.
Yeah.
You guys are busy scoffing, not concentrating on actually what's going on, man.
What's going on, that's right. That's right. Because, you should see this, and it should make your blood boil, man. The very fact that if you go and say to people, this is off, then they're going to be like, no, the child should be like, hey, let's be real, man. I'm sure brothers with children can attest to this. Your child will be whatever you let them to be. When I was little, children would be dinosaurs, for fuck's sake, man. They'll be wearing that dinosaur tracks, uniform all day long, going around thinking they're a dinosaur, roaring at people, right? But where does it stop, man? Where does it stop? So what about Rachel Dolezal? Right, she went around saying that she feels like she's a quote unquote black woman, right? What about all of the people that say they feel they should have been born with a disability, so they go and cut their arm off? Are they crazy? Where do you draw the line?
What's the name of this person?
Rachel Dolezal.
Rachel Dollar.
She was head of the NAACP or something.
Okay, yeah. Oh, this woman, I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't identify as African American. I identify as black. Well, there you go, man. But you know, if you're black, then you're in darkness.
You're in darkness, right, man.
You need to know, in this time and age, you got to know you're an Israelite, man.
Yeah. Whether she's a Jake or not, I don't know. I ain't pleading her cause for anything, but it's just giving an example about how, you know, and that was just to say, because people called her crazy for that. People say, oh, she's crazy, she's a white woman, she's obviously a white woman. How come she's going around calling herself black? Well, how's that any different to all of these people, right? That go around, born a woman, going around saying that they're men. And Esau's basically putting this in to your children at a young age, because that's when they're most impressionable, man.
Okay.
Like the brother said when we was discussing it earlier on, how comes they're not doing that to the adult section?
That's right, I've got a quick precept.
Yeah.
This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
No, how is not the author of confusion, man? Right. So all of these things that are going on in the world, man, is... Hey, you mean... Yeah, you want to say something on that, bro?
No, I was just going to say, well, it really leads into this precept, man. The Lord ain't dealing with... The Lord ain't dealing with that confusion, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord's dealing with what he said in Genesis, man. And I'll just quickly read it. It says Genesis 1 and 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
And that's it, man. Esau be going around giving children questionnaires of 26 different genders, man. There's just male and female. X, Y, and XX. Yeah. You know, that's what I was taught when I was growing up, that male is XY and woman is XX, and that's it.
Yeah, really, that's this whole thing is really underneath the vibration of Baphomet. Yeah, you know, because that's an androgynous, you know, false deity, man. Yeah, look at, because you can see the symbolism of the penis and you got the boobs. Yeah, that's you know, it's androgynous, man.
Yep, the androgyny.
And that's what Esau basically pushing out as a vibration into the world. Part of its wine, man.
Can you also get Habakkuk 2, giveth his neighbor drink?
Yeah.
Born to him that giveth his neighbor, I think it's 12 maybe?
Yeah.
No, 12.
Somewhere here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 15.
Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink.
And what's that talking about? It's talking about his philosophies, man. You know, we was discussing at the camp yesterday how you got places in, you know, in Africa, places where this shit isn't accepted, and they're now starting to accept this, man. That Americanism, that television, that Hollywood, supposed to bring it out all the time, that Hollywood basically is witchcraft, man. You know, I was watching, in fact, when I was with you the other day about
Devil's Advocate.
They was watching Devil's Advocate, that's right. Right, and we're seeing how these guys, you know, was moving and dealing with this woman and saying that's why a lot of the men out here are such the way they are when they deal with a woman, because Hollywood's been portraying that image of a man being subservient to his woman for however, and it's in your TV, it's in your movies, it's in wherever you are. That's what you see.
In your food, man. Estrogen.
It's in your food.
Pumping estrogen into you, and you know you start to more feminine.
Right. And this is part of this, you know, this is part of that philosophy, man. This androgyny because when you go back to the article, but real quick, and we'll carry on. What does it say at the top there? Right, it says the department store, the second bullet point, the department store has been praised. Right, so it makes you think of Isaiah where it says, "One to them that call evil good and good evil," because we're the bad guys for saying this is off, man. We're the bad guys. Right, but sir, if you go back to Habakkuk, Right.
Woe unto him that giveth his neighbour drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and makes him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Right, so it wasn't enough that Esau believed this stuff. Now he's going over there to Saudi Arabia, telling them the Saudis, which that's his own vassal state anyway, right? Telling them Saudis that they're going to treat their women such and such a way. Who are you to tell another man how to treat his woman, man? If I don't, no, I want to see just, because there's a big thing about how those Saudis don't let their women drive and shit, but I bet their roads are a lot safer than over here.
That's it. It's just confusion. That's what Esau brings, man.
Right.
Bringing confusion.
You go over there to India, right? Now those women are trying to fight for women's rights and shit. Right, but here it is. Them Elamites have got a solid unit, man. More time, what you get the oldest son that'll be looking after the parents, right? And each daughter gets married off to next man, and then they basically keep them cool. But if with Esau's poison and Esau's wine going over there into those lands, they're gonna start following the way of Esau. Which is why they come over here. They start doing whorish things, right? They start, fucking before they get married. All of that shit, which we know sex is marriage, but obviously that's not what they believe in their customs.
And you know what, really, Esau will do this, Esau's off anyway, but then the vibration that he puts on our people, that's what it is. It's that Roman, going back to that Roman Greek way of life. Man.
Hedonism, do what makes you feel good. Which is why they did that big push on YOLO, what was that, 5 years ago, 5 or so years? YOLO, you only live once. But through the scripture, that ain't the case.
Because of reincarnation.
Because of reincarnation. But that's why they push that whole, hey, it doesn't matter, because, why am I going, why just kiss a dude? YOLO. Why did you two women have sex? YOLO.
Because at first you kind of had like the whole homosexual movement. Then now it's like then skirmished and kind of moved and blurred the lines into transgender and non-binary and all these different terms that they use. Which is confusion really. And this scripture will go into it.
This is what Romans 1:26 says. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. Right, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And 2 women rubbing clits is against nature, man. 2 men rubbing cocks is against nature. Right,
that don't make sense.
There was a big thing. I remember growing up, right, cursing out these homosexual, first coming into the truth, you're a bit wild with it. I remember being at 6 one day, that shit's off, man, that's not natural. And do you know what they always say? They say, well, the male G-spot is in his anus. So what does that mean? That means it must be, well, bro, you're going off, man. The scripture is straight into the point. Leviticus 20:13. But what also, if it's so natural that it's there, then why is it that the anal sphincter isn't elastic, man? Nothing's supposed to go up your arse. It's a one-way system.
That's it.
Right, and the thing is, you get a lot of guys that be pumping that woman in the arse, and then 5 years down the line, a thing can't close, man.
And then you gotta use these butt plugs.
You gotta go around with butt plugs all day long.
I'll keep reading here. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman. What's the natural use of the woman, man?
Look at
that's what it is, man.
Getting up pregnant, bro.
Burned in their lust one toward another.
Burned in their lust.
Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. So it's an error. That's an error. That homosexuality and that transgenderism, all that pushed by Esau, that's demons, man.
And it is why you need to have men in an environment. Because right now there are no men. Right now you got a lot of quote unquote dads that are in households and they don't know how to lead. They don't know how to. Because if this was my household and my woman saying, no, it's okay, let him be what he is, I'll back that bitch up, man. What do you mean? Because you got a lot of dads that'll be like, oh, well, it should be okay, basically, because their woman says it's okay, man. That's why you shouldn't let your woman lead,
man. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, which a lot of our people are doing now, rather than following the paths of righteousness, they're giving over into these lusts. God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And 2 men and men, a woman and a woman, and them thinking a different gender, that's not convenient, man. you know, I'm gonna go into that word reprobate. I don't think that's completely right. It's kind of basically the word reprobate. I think Apostles brought out before, where it's basically they're backwards minded. It's just it's you know,
they're not fit for purpose, man.
That's it. You know what I mean? It's just confusion, man. Ultimately, that's what it is. And the laws put certain people through that, man, because ultimately they're going to be destroyed.
They're strong delusions, right? It was at Thessalonians. No, it's good. It talks about strong delusions, man.
That's right. That's right. You want to get that?
I think 1 Thessalonians 2:11. H2TH. 2:11. 2 Thessalonians 2:11.
Strong delusion.
Yeah, no, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the point.
That's
really.
the point, man. You know, and if this shit doesn't, you know, and the thing is, this isn't the only wickedness, man. You know, you go around, you see many other forms of wickedness in your day to day, man, and you're just like, yo, we need to get out of this kingdom, man. We just need to get out of it. There ain't no two ways about it. This. Ain't our rest, right? You got anything, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to read this bit in the article. It says, parents have praised John Lewis on social media for its move towards gender-neutral clothing. It's from there, man. It's, you know, the parents are cool with it.
Yeah.
It's all fucked. So you're going to get a generation of children growing up like that. So that means that if this kingdom was allowed to continue, which it won't be, if it was allowed to continue, then the whole thing would be through, man.
Yeah.
I think it was. I remember Dave Chappelle saying, sooner or later, everyone's just going to be beige.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's just going to just be a neutral gender and just beige.
Yeah.
You know, and we can't allow this thing to continue, man. The law's about righteousness. You know, not about confusion.
Yeah.
Okay. And about variety, man.
Yeah.
Okay? You can even see that in Israel. You can see that in nature. Okay. And this is the wrong kind of variety. Okay. Because this isn't variety. This is confusion. The only variety there is male and female.
That's right.
You know. You got anything?
Yeah, and that's it. So you know, like I said, we just wanted to bring that up for you. That's say shalom.
Shalom. Hope you've been edified.